plus max into that.
How about that? That's better? That's better. That's better. That's it, right? Right over here.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
We're going to be very informal, and we're not going to be here all day long because this is a celebration, not a funeral. All right, give that a round of applause. We're ready by calling upon the President, the Reverend Katrina Love, and we want to first thank her and all of the ministers throughout our city for the support they've given for this event. The President of the Macon County Ministerial Alliance will lead us in meditation and prayer. And she will ask you to stand and we have the honor guard from the Tuskegee Fire Department present our colors. Let's welcome the members of the great family as they come in. Give them a hand. Let's celebrate you in this party. Members of the great family, come on in. When I first came up here today, they had the room set up for 50 people. I said, oh no, we got to get out some more chairs. And I see they have. Okay. Madam President.
Just stand, please. Lord, we thank you for this glorious occasion. We just give you thanks for all the works that you are doing for this wonderful historic city. God, we honor Attorney Gray and his family, Lord, this evening. God, may we leave this place united in your love and your compassion. And may your grace and your mercy throughout the city and this nation, God. We thank you for all eyes being on Tuskegee at this time, God. Now may we glorify you. May your glory be seen in each one of us, oh God. We just love you and thank you for all the great works, God, that you are doing in these days. And we're so honored to be a part of it, to work with you, Lord God, as we glorify your name from this earth. Now, Father, we look to you, for which comes our help. All of our help comes from you. And we're delighted and we're grateful for your love and the compassion that you continue to show to each one of us, your people. Now, God, help us to learn how to forgive and to live in your glorious presence at all times. In Jesus' name. Amen. Amen.
Let us pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you so much. Let's give a round of applause for having the flag of the United States of America flying here. The flag of the Capitol. We all was concerned about it. That's our flag. The flag of the United States of America. That's the flag that we are saluting. It is my honor to have the opportunity to preside. We have an outstanding group of leaders who have come together for the purpose of serving as a Fred Gray Congratulatory Committee, a committee that has two basic purposes. One, to have this event today, and then secondly, to plan for a much larger event in the future that will bring the whole nation and communities from around the country here in support of this effort.
And then the second purpose of this committee is to work until we can have the full support of our city and our county. Our county is already supporting the History Center, but we want our city and our county and the total community to support this center, because Fred Gray has been doing an outstanding job down through the years, raising money, promoting this center. But he cannot do it forever. It is now time for us to step up to the plate and make this center a public museum, a welcome center for this city and this county because of our great tourism. That's what Mr. Gray wants to see done, and this committee is going to work hard to get that done. Serving as co-chair is the Honorable Mayor Tony Haygood, our mayor, the mayor of our city, who is also president of the Alabama League of Municipalities, the Honorable Louis Maxwell, our chairman, everyone's chairman. He's the hardest working county chairman in America, Chairman Maxwell, and of course our probate judge, the Honorable Judge James Cooper. So we're going to also have Dr. Walter Hill, who is representing Dr. Charlotte Morris, to also come to represent the president. So it's going, now let me just say this. The question is, how are we going to get through this? We're going to get through this because everyone is going to be brief, short and to the point. We didn't come to hear everybody else talk. We want to hear Mr. Gray talk, right? We want to see him. So we're going to have each speaker to take a couple minutes, one, to identify yourself and the organization you represent, and then also indicate your commitment to keeping this center alive and supporting the center in the future. That's what Mr. Gray really wants us to commit to today. So we're going to begin by asking the Honorable Chairman Louis Maxwell. Let's give him a round of applause. He has done so much for our county. Mr. Chairman.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
We give honor to God. We honor this man of God who we have with us today. We want to take this time on behalf of the Macon County Commission. I want to recognize any other commissioners here. Please come and stand with me.
Great. Give them all a hand.
As they're coming, we want to also remember the late Robert Mike Barrett from District 4. I want you to know that District supports this initiative. And District 4 members citizens stand ready to support the initiative of our multicultural center. But let me say this, first of all, the Honorable Miles Robinson from my immediate right, the Honorable Edward Huffman, representing District 1 and District 2. I don't see Commissioner Bruder here yet. He indicated that he was on his way, District 3 Commissioner. First of all, we will take this opportunity to, first of all, the Honorable Attorney Fred Gray, we honor you, your family, to all of our mayor, all of our elected officials, those of you here, we thank you and we honor you for your presence today. For those of you who live in Macon County, I want to say to you, thank you for supporting your commission as we do things to help continue to support this center. We want to, those of you who visited Macon County for the first time, let me say to you that you have met one of the requirements to get into heaven. You can't go to heaven unless you come to this meeting and make it count. So you're on your way, okay? So, but to Attorney Gray, on behalf of Macon County Commission, you are our attorney. This is our attorney. We are so proud of you. You know, y'all look at that picture that he made the President of the United States look good, didn't he? On behalf of the commission, on behalf of all the citizens of Macon County who could not be here today. Some, I'm sure, watching right now, they want you to know that you are our attorneys, and you will always be our attorney. And now you're just one of those special attorneys, the greatest attorney. You're already the greatest, but now you are the greatest of the greatest in America.
All right now.
Hallelujah. Every citizen, we thank you for this opportunity to report. We thank you, the committee members, we thank you. We just begun to do what the attorney has desired us to do. That is to make this museum.
Today's show is something good comes from Case Western Reserve. One of their most iconic alumni, Fred Gray, received the Presidential Medal.
Well, we're great. It works, but we're not quite ready for it.
Quite ready for it.
That's coming a little later. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay, but again, I don't know why, somebody, Mike Bear always pulled my coattail right now. I didn't know he was gonna put out the lights. But anyway, we are honored to be here, Mr. Attorney. Know that we stand ready to support your project. Not just today, but in the months and years that lie ahead.
That's what we want to hear. Let's hear again from our county commission. Now, my mayor, the Honorable Lawrence Tony Haygood, and any members of our county, our city council, please come up and join us. Our mayor is also the president of the Alabama League of Councilman Whitehead was going to make it there. I guess you can explain where they are. No, you don't have to read the whole thing.
Good afternoon. It is truly my honor to rise today on behalf of the City Council, all the citizens, the citizens of this city. And I can say the citizens of the state of Alabama and the United States of America. We truly are honored to recognize Mr. Attorney Fred D. Gray, Esquire, on the occasion of the presentation of the Presidential Medal of Freedom. We have a resolution from the council which highlights a number of things that you did, including a number of cases, Gomillion versus Lightfoot, which made it possible for us to retain majority control of the city in which we live in. That's a major case, and those who aren't familiar with it, I suggest you go and look at it, because I ran across it when I was in college. And in my graduate course, that's something I had to study and help explain. Proud to be able to relate that to others and what it meant. So many cases. I simply want to say thank you. A heart sincere felt thank you. When you look at how you did, not only in the cases, but when you served in the Alabama legislature as the first African American. When you look at Councilman Ford, who was Mayor Ford, and as the first here, myself and so many others, you made it possible for us. So many other African American elected officials of all kinds, so many females who have positions now that they otherwise would not have had. When I turned the corner today, the Greyhound bus coming from Tuskegee turned the corner, and guess who was driving? A female, which wouldn't have happened in the past. But not only a female, an African American female. So you've opened so many doors that we have to be thankful. We take it for granted right now, because we've been here a while. So many others who were here who weren't here when you had the black water and the white water, when you couldn't go to the park. When I was threatened to be put in a car in Memphis, Tennessee, and taken to jail for just playing with some people who didn't cause. We want to say thank you for so many things. Because what you have done when others could not stand and would not stand, because you had the courage to stand in the dark past with the faith that you had in the dark past. That brought us to for the hope of the new day that you brought us to. All the opportunities we have, we can thank you today. Your family and those that you acknowledge that work with you. We say thank you. We have a bright future. We would definitely work to support the work of the History Center. We work with others to bring in tremendous resources, because we know how important it is. We send many people over there. We recognize what is brought forth in their place. So thank you, Attorney Gray, for your courage back then. Thank you for your willingness to continue to work on into 91 years. We pray that you're blessed with many, many more. Thank you, and God bless you.
This is what the mayor said, and we're going to also support this center, right? So I'll be making a motion in the city council that the city join with the county. Let's give our mayor a round of applause. Okay, good. Dr. Walter Hill here today. Let's give Dr. Walter Hill. How many years as the dean of the School of Agriculture? All right, he does, representing the president of Tuskegee University, Dr. Walter Hill. Great.
Good afternoon. ladies and gentlemen. It's an honor to be here.
What a special privilege. Let's give our mayor and the other city officials that they have to go way down somewhere for a meeting that I can't go to, so they're gonna represent. Let's give them a round of applause.
Resolution said it's Fred B. Gray Day in the city of Tuskegee. I had to be here for this historic occasion and be recognized for what you have done for all of us. Thank you.
Well, Fred Gray, President Morris sent me on her behalf. She just returned from Israel, where she and 8 other HBCU presidents visited and are developing opportunities for our students, our faculty, and our community partners. We look forward to her report back. She just got back and is under quarantine. But she said, you're going to have to go and represent me. So I'm here on her behalf, and I'm sure there may be some other things to follow. So we look forward to that. Number one, so everyone knows, of course, Fred Gray himself has been a friend of Tuskegee University for many, many years. Been an advisor, a consultant, and she wanted to make that known. More importantly, he and his firm have served the university for more than 40 years with excellent legal counsel. We want to emphasize that and look forward to that continuing as we go into the future. The third thing she wanted to make clear was that you have received so many awards. Of course, this one is one of the highlights, the Presidential Medal of Freedom. But she just wanted to say, though you have had so many, she wants to just express, this is just another one, and there will be many more. She looks forward to celebrating those also with you. Okay. So the last statement is we wish you the best as we continue to struggle, as you know, for equality, equity, and justice is really intensified. So you have a lot more work to do, and a lot of us to join with you as we fight for our freedom in the future. Thank you very much.
Now, the occasion, the Honorable Mayor, the Honorable Probate Judge James Cooper, there he is, he's all ready and all set, got his red tie on and the magistrate wears red socks. They are really on the ball. Give him a round of applause.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Start with this scripture. 1 Peter 4:10 tells us, each of you should use your gift you have received to serve others as faithful servants of God's grace in its various forms. The Honorable Fred D. Gray, recipient of the when Lloyd Colvin, a 50-year-old, was arrested in Montgomery for sitting down, Attorney Fred Gray stood up. He represented her. When Rosa Parks did the same thing 9 months later, Attorney Fred Gray stood up. And Wallace versus Williams, 1961, Fred G. Gray Sr. represented the marchers and ensured their passage across the Evan Pettus Bridge. Attorney Fred D. Gray stood up. And Attorney Fred Gray represented 623 men the U.S. Public Health Syphilis Study. So they, because of their medical treatment was withheld because they had syphilis, Attorney Fred D. Gray did what? Yeah. So as we think about Attorney Fred D. Gray, representing those in those sit-ins and those lunch counters, so they could sit down, Attorney Fred D. Gray did what? Yeah. So today I ask each and every one of you in here who can stand up. Yes. Let's stand up right now.
Wonderful. Stood up our judge of probate. Outstanding job. Now, we want all of the members of the Gray family and their special guests, as of course Attorney Gray and his wife Carol are going to be introduced later, but all of the members of the Gray family, we want you to just stand up so that we can see you and you know how proud we are. I appreciate Julia and his wife, Stanley, Vanessa. Fred told me that Deborah could not be here, but she's here with us in spirit. And you want to introduce any others? Yes, and his Stanley and his first lady. I tell you, the Gray boys make us very, very proud and their family. And we also have Cousin Yvette. Yeah, Cousin Yvette. Give her a round of applause. Hey, come and introduce her. You know, I know you don't know that.
Okay, I think we got everybody. Vanessa. Oh, yeah, okay. Our special guest. Willie Butler, former minister of the Tuskegee Church of Christ, and his sister Peggy.
Thank you all. Come and join the table, Mr. Minister. Join the table. Bring the chairs around.
All right, and I'm going to introduce my cousin who was my Mr. Gray's, I got everything. Mr. Gray's brother's daughter, my Uncle Hugh, we call him Fox. She lives in Montgomery, so that's the guy. And that's what they call him.
All right. Now, Carol, would you please come up here, the first lady? Because many times, you know, Fred talks about his family. He loves his family so much. He talks about his late wife, Bernice, and they were such a wonderful team. And now he and Carol make such a wonderful couple. Come on, let's stand on our feet. He has been
I did not call the name of my wife, Bridget.
She is a great attorney too. Let's give her a round of applause. All the way from Seattle, out in the great state of Washington, I believe. I was out there recently. And while we're near Fred, my wife Joyce, the judge, sends her best. If it had not been for health challenges, she, as you know, she would be right here, and you and George would be having a time talking about legal matters. But she sends her love. Okay, nothing like family. Now we're going to have Mrs. Laurie McGowan as our vocalist, and none other than Mr. Bill Perry, the accompanist. Two great musicians. Let's give them a round of applause. Her husband, Walter McGowan, is also a part of the law firm. He does a great job. Come on, let's welcome these great musicians.
Thank you, Johnny. And I would also like to say, on behalf of my husband, Walter, and my sister in Katy, Texas, it is an honor and privilege for me to be here to represent my family and also the community of District 2, Donald Ford. I thank you so much for this invitation. To Attorney Fred Gray, his wife Carol, family and extended family, it is a distinct pleasure and honor for me to be here today. My father passed, you sat with my sister in our home until Miss Alvin could come while Walter and I accepted an invitation to the Vatican in Italy. We were in Venice when I got the call of my father passing. Thank you for being there. You are a fantastic person, a wonderful neighbor, and I love you for it. I love you for all your kindness. I shall sing Over the Rainbow, made famous by Judy Garland, the famous Broadway musical, The Wizard of Oz. It is a song that represents hope, rainbow, chasing dreams. And Dorothy sang this song in The Wizard of Oz. It was just before she woke from a dream of despair and hoping for better times. Over the rainbow. While Bill is warming up, I will also add that I got this invitation to sing Friday evening, less than 48 hours ago. And I said, who's the musician? I said, will Bill Perry be there? He said, yes. I said, we'll make this happen. All right. I've not rehearsed with Bill. Yesterday, he called, he said, what keys are you singing in? I gave him the keys. And I said, Bill, I said, I'll try. I said, but listen, he said, just sing it over the telephone. Okay? So here we go. There's a land
Johnny Lee, Allen Lee.
Brother Lee, give it up for us. Wow, you're on the ready to Great, great, great. We have international messages coming in, Mr. Gray, from all over the world. We're going to start with the World Conference of Mayors, Conference Mondiale des Maires. One of the reasons they asked, said, why are you doing this? Is because all of y'all need to know that Fred Gray is the General Counsel for the World Conference of Mayors. He served as President of the National Bar, and I served as President of the World Conference. We had our two national and international conventions together in the Bahamas at the same time. So we're going to ask the Honorable John McGowan to come first because he's representing the international community. We held a special meeting, board meeting, of both the World Conference of Mayors and the Historic Black Towns and Settlements Alliance. I convened both boards of directors on Friday, and they both unanimously passed resolutions congratulating you, representing people and mayors from Haiti, from Taiwan, from Canada, from Alaska, from the indigenous and Native American community. And we're going to get you copies of those emails that are being sent from around the country. The Honorable John McGowan is our Chief Financial Officer. He has been active in the conference since, 1985, when he was first elected mayor of Union Springs, and now he's the county commissioner. Our conference is made up of not only mayors and former mayors and elected and appointed officials, but any elected or appointed official or individual who believes in the goals of the Conference Mondiale des Maires. Mr. CFO, the Honorable John McGowan, give him a hand.
Thank you, founder of the World Conference of Mayors. You said about everything I had to say, but I'm so excited to be here, Attorney Gray. I mean, it's been wonderful traveling with you to the Conference of Mayors. We draw on your wisdom so many times in this conference, and it's been shared around the world. So today I do have a resolution of congratulations from the World Conference of Mayors Incorporated and Historic Black Towns and Settlements Alliance to be presented to you. I won't read it, but you know it's signed by our founder, Johnny Ford, and our former President Emeritus, Ed Jones, and we're going to present you with a copy of it. But this gives me an opportunity on a personal note to just say thank you. In 1984, I was elected mayor of Union Springs, first African-American mayor. So that was a challenge. But the great law firm and the support of my cousin Walter, and you guys have stood with us during that time since 84 to 88, and you've been a friend as well. I don't know if any Bullock County is in here, but there are so many cases, and so many are reflected in Bullock County, Mr. Aaron Sellers, and those landmark cases and everything that you've done for Bullock County. So I want to thank you on behalf of Bullock County as well as the World Conference of Mayors and Historic Black Towns and Settlements.
My brother Dave, with the time to stand up. Our roots are Bullock County. Mr. Gray represented Bullock County, and we are going to, when he served in the Alabama legislature. Fred Gray and I were just talking a few minutes ago. He was remembering that in 1966, Stanley, was the first time he ran for the legislature, and Fred, he actually won the race. And when we went to bed that night, Attorney Fred Gray had won the Alabama legislative seat for District 82. And when he woke up the next morning, he had lost, because that's what they did back in those days. So in 1970, Fred, you remember I was in New York, and I called you, and I said, Fred, do you need a campaign manager? He said, I most certainly do. So I came back from New York and served as your campaign manager in 1970, and you gave me, he said, since you have roots in Bullock County, and you were born in Bullock County and have roots in Bullock County, You go down into Bullock County and Barber County, and you stay down there, and don't you come back till I have all of those votes counted. And that's what we did, and he was elected. Give him a hand, the first black Democrat on the Democratic slate to the Alabama legislature. And Tom Reed, I was his campaign manager too, he was elected on the NDPA. Back in those days, any ticket you could get elected on was good enough as long as you got elected. Based upon that, we're going to call upon the Honorable Dr. Joe Reed. On yesterday, we voted unanimously in the Alabama Democratic Conference. I offered a resolution and it passed unanimously, congratulating you. Dr. Reed is not here because his son, as you know, Joe Reed, is in the hospital, Junior. So he is taking care of his son. But his other son, Stephen, was with you in Washington, right? So the Reeds are with you. But we do have the Honorable Judge Menifee, is he here? Our former probate judge, who is the head of our Democratic club for Macon County and represents Macon County in the Democratic structure. He's going to come and represent Dr. Reed. And then I'm going to ask the Honorable Betty Davis to come forth and represent the Honorable Evelyn Warren. Come on, let's give our probate judge a round of applause. Can we get both probate judges up here with Mr. Gray? Wouldn't that be a great picture? Let's do that. Come on.
Good evening. It just happened that Attorney Fred, it just happened that Joe's son got ill and he couldn't come. It's the only reason I'm here. So, but I must say that it has been such a joy over the years for me personally to have Fred Gray Sr. in my presence. He has always been there for me. In fact, I felt like I was part of the family. And I think sometimes little Fred and Stanley might have got a little bit jealous I was so close. But for Macon County, being the president of the Macon County Democratic Club, I am more than pleased to say that we are so pleased over the years what Fred has done for us. And for the state of Alabama, Representative Joe Reed, for the whole state, Fred has been right there to protect us. And we all don't know how grateful we are for the persons and lawsuits and things that didn't come to Macon County because they were afraid to come because of Fred Gray. So we want to thank you for all that you have done and all that you will continue to do, and we love you, and you know I'm going to raise all the money. We want to say Victory and was basically behind. Fred was in front and made it happen. As Fred was there. In later years, they moved to different groups, but Fred has always been there, and we thank you very much, and I'm going to make sure they are there for you this week. All right. We heard it. We're going to support it. Mayor Union Springs, I did not see him when I was up here. He's good. I'm going to run. And he's here representing Alabama Conference of Black Mayors. Of course, Attorney have to organize that group. Well, Mr. Mayor, we're so happy to go to another meeting. You have a floor, Your Honor.
Good afternoon. It's a pleasure to be here. You have done. I've been in your presence. I know you don't only, but it's so humbling to be able to stand good and say thank you for standing up and thank you for representing the county of Bullock and everything that you have done. It would not be possible for me to be here today and so many before me for you representing decades in and out. So thank you, Dr. Gray, for everything that you have done. God bless.
Another one? Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Now, the Honorable Betty Davis is going to represent our state representative, the Honorable Kevin Warren, personally called Johnny, and would have been here, just had another commitment. We also reached out to Senator Beasley as well. All of this was such short notice. That's why we're going to have, as I told you earlier, a much bigger event later when we'll have time to get everyone involved. But she has the right person representing her now. Come on, Your Honor.
Good afternoon. Speaking of short notice, I was just called this morning and asked to represent our state representative, Evelyn Warren, District 82. Due to health issues, she is unable to be here, Mr. Gray, in person. But she did want me to let you know, and I got to read it because I'm trying to write out what she said, to know that she regrets that she's unable to be here in person, but due to medical issues, she's out of town. She definitely wants you to know that she thanks you for your service, and it's truly a blessing that God has allowed you to receive your flowers and well-deserved recognition as being a recipient of the Presidential Medal of Freedom Award. What a wonderful award. What a great award. While you are still living. While you are still living. Her wishes is that God continue to bless you, and congratulations to you and your family. And I want to say personally for myself, I appreciate you, I love you and your family, I have the utmost respect for your wisdom and knowledge. I have learned a lot over the years, a little bit of political stuff from you, and your son is trying to guide us in the same direction that you was taking in. Believe me, you have the knowledge about political events. Thank you so much.
I just want us to give this lady a round of applause and let her know how much we appreciate her. Dr. Elaine Harrington has done so much to promote this National Medal of Freedom Award for Attorney Gray, and she does it, not only did she do it in this instance, she does it for so many other things. And Dr. Harrington will bring the mic to you, will come to you, because she has notified people all over the country. She's representing the board of directors, the national board of the NAACP, and she does an outstanding job. Let's give her another round of applause.
Can you hear me?
That was not working?
Yes.
Oh, can you hear me without?
No, here we go.
Thank you.
Can you hear me now? Thank you very much, Honorable Ford. I'm going to ask Mr. Alonzo B. Bullard. Mr. Alonzo Bullard, where are you?
Right here, taking your picture.
Well, come in, please. Today, I am representing the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. Resolutions in honor of Attorney Gregory Grace Stevens, 222 recipient, Presidential Medal of Freedom. Whereas the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, the NAACP, is the oldest civil rights organization in this nation, with affiliate units across the country, including the Tuskegee-Macon County branch of the NAACP. And whereas Fred Gray Sr. is a life member of the NAACP and has fought many cases for us, especially when NAACP was outlawed for practices in the state of Alabama. NAACP is we are now live and well because of Fred Gray. And whereas during the national convention in the late 70s, Attorney Gray was honored with the William Means Jr. Advocacy Award, which is the highest award to an attorney in this nation. And whereas Attorney Gray, following this award presentation, wholeheartedly pursued the development and establishment of the current site, Tuskegee Human and Civil Rights Multicultural Center. And whereas on Thursday, July 7th, United States President Joe Biden, in a White House worldwide ceremony, bestowed upon Attorney Fred B. Gray Sr. the Presidential Medal of Freedom. Therefore, be it resolved, the Tuskegee-Macon County branch of the NAACP proud congratulates our esteemed member, Fred B. Gray Sr. upon receiving this. This is, by the way, this is the highest civilian award that one can receive in these United States of America. Even at his age of 91, I think he's miscalculated that. Even at the age of 91 years, we shall hope for his continued persistence of civil rights and justice for all. Be it finally resolved that the local NAACP calls abroad, worldwide, organizations, including religious, the maintenance and stability of the Tuskegee Human and Civil Rights Center. For this, I don't know whether we know the importance of that center when you ride into the city, right out of the city. That is a center, and if you've never been there, don't tell anybody. Go tomorrow. Officially resolved, Lonzo Bully, President, Barbara Bully, Secretary, Elaine C. Hamilton. And I'm going to let my words speak louder than my anticipation. Attorney Gray, you come to me, Attorney Gray. You come to me, Attorney Gray. You come to me. Come to me. Come to me. Now, everybody can't do that. Attorney Gray, I want to start this financial stability movement for the center. And I am personally enclosing in this envelope a check for $1,000. If anyone wants to ask $1,000, we will have someone to pick them up before you leave today. From $5 up. Thank you very much. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
God bless.
Thank you, Dr. F. Coach Williams, you want to make your comment? Coach, everyone's coach, our professional football player and coach, and now NAACP president.
Thank you. I'm not a public speaker, but I think a lot of you know me. But I would like to say to Fred, on behalf of the local branch of the NAACP, our national president, Derek Johnson, our chairman, Leon Russell, and our state president, Bernard Sampson. I would like to say to you, it's a pleasure being in the presence of greatness. I think of athletes, because that's what I was at one time, but to be in the greatness of someone who has helped the world to be a better place. To know you, to be a fraternity brother, that's why I had to tell us we love that purple and gold. But to really be in your presence and to be alive to see this and walk with you from afar, I would like to say greatness to you, the best to you and your family. We love you, and I wish my children was here to be here with you, to see this special occasion, to see this honor given to you. But I would like to say on behalf of the local branch, which you are a member, the family scheme, it means people of all colors and races. To you, I bow down. To you, I would like to say thank you.
And we thank you. You did great. Public speaker, you did great. I want to recognize the Honorable Orlando Whitehead, my city council member who was not here earlier. Give him a round of applause. Thank you, Councilman Whitehead. I'm so happy that you took time to come. I know you got a long ways to go to that meeting as well, but he's here and his mother is here. Thank you so much. But Councilman Whitehead, you and I, we're going to work hard to get the city to join with the county to support this center in the future. Councilman Whitehead and I work close together. We believe in getting things done. Enough talk. We need some action. And Magruder, Commissioner Magruder, please stand up. Let's give him a round of applause. Back in 1970, he was just a young boy, but he was driving, and one of those drivers when we were down in Baldwin County, Fred, Ernest Magruder, he and I started out in politics together, and now he makes us all very, very proud. But we're going to count on your continued support. Now, Dr. Melissa Williams, our superintendent of the Macon County Board, there she is. Let's give her a round of applause, and let's let our new superintendent know how proud we are of her. And we also, please.
Good afternoon. On behalf of the Macon County Board of Education, we would like to offer our congratulations to Attorney Gray on his major accomplishments and contributions to our local community and to our nation. We will prepare a resolution to present to you after the next regular scheduled board meeting to include our full support of the History Center. Thank you for setting the bar high for our students. At this time, I'd like to introduce the board members that are present, President Mary Hooks and Sergeant Major Boyd, and they'll have a few comments.
Attorney Gray, congratulations, and it's just a pleasure to be here in your company, to have a Presidential Medal of Freedom earner. Now, I had to Google you because I wanted to know what everybody else was writing, and they call you an icon. I call you a scholar. I call you a civil rights scholar, a constitutional scholar, and you are truly right. Thank you so much for all that you've done, and we're grateful.
My life. We all live in all these things, but when my time in the military, I had the privilege of playing 63. I put that as a major event of my being involved in something around someone important. But I have that same feeling today that I had then, being here with you, being the recipient of the Freedom Medal, and I'm just honored to be able to acknowledge that.
Are our primary focus. We have
have two brief presentations. The first one is from Nixon Brooks, who is a rising fourth grader at Tuskegee Public School. And after Nixon, we'll have Sharice Howard and Gregory Smith Jr. to do a reenactment of Rosa Parks and Fred C. Gray. So we'll let Nixon go at this time. And they're students at Booker T. Washington High School graduates.
Good afternoon. I am Nixon Brandon Austin Brooks. I have completed my term as Mr. George Washington Carver and headed to fourth grade at Tuskegee Public. At GWC, the inspirational words of wisdom by attorney Fred Gray Sr. are instilled in us from pre-K to promotion. Today, I would like to share them with you. Words of wisdom by Fred. If I can conceive it in my head and believe it in my heart, I could achieve it with my hands. Anything that I can conceive, I can believe. Anything that I can believe, I can achieve. I am intelligent. I am beautiful. I can learn. I love my parents. I respect my teachers. Love myself. I am somebody. So look out, world. Here I come.
Good afternoon or evening, whichever you prefer. My name is Barry Smith. My name is Sharice Howard. We're Booker T. Washington High School. And we just have a short presentation for you all where I'll be playing Fred Gray and as Ms. Rosa Parks. And it's just a for me to hope you enjoy.
Thank you.
Good morning, Mr.
Good morning.
I understand that you were arrested because you didn't want to give up your seat at the back of the bus.
That is correct.
Why didn't you want to get up?
Well, I was tired.
That's a little funny, Ms. Parks. Everyone's tired of a long day.
No. I'm not talking about that type of time. See, I wasn't tired physically. The only tired I was tired was giving in.
Well, Ms. Parks, I guess that there is just something that we have to accomplish. It says here that the judge is Eugene Parks. Now, he's just as hard and tough as any other white man in the Deep South. Hear me out. Now, hear me out. I want you to plead not guilty.
Why? I did? Yeah, look now, I did it. I don't want to waste my time. See, just like you said, he just his tongue, so it's not like he gonna rule in our favor. I did it now. Why should I plead not guilty?
I know you did. I know you did. But hear me out. Even if you plead not guilty, even if he doesn't rule in our favor, we can take it to higher courts and get it out of the little old racist Montgomery. I thought you said you were tired.
I am tired.
I am too. You think it's easy being constantly picked over and skipped over because of the color of my skin tone? This suit, this tie, this doesn't mean anything
I got just as much education as the next man, and even the man in front of me. But you know what? I have to work 10 times harder, just as everybody else, just to get respect for my own profession. I became an attorney because I want to help us. Not us, I want to help us. I want to see change. But you know what? I ain't no fool. I know change just ain't gonna happen overnight. That's just unreal. That's just not gonna happen overnight. We all have to start from somewhere. So all I'm asking you to do is, all I'm asking you to do is, can you please just try?
I remember when I was a young girl and I'd be sitting on the couch, my grandma would be in the bed cooking, and they'll just be talking about one day when the world would change and things would be better for us. A time when our people would stand up and do something that would inspire change.
Well, Ms. Parks, what I'm trying to tell you is that change can be now. All I need you to do is trust me.
All right, I'll please not do.
Well, all right.
Yeah, we just look in, just look. Attorney Fred Gray was brave,
Supportive,
educated,
intelligent,
encouraging,
respectful,
fearless,
dedicated.
and a great man.
Come on, let's give him another round. All right. Okay. Rest of the board. Oh. They have a lady on the end. Okay, all right. Okay. Attorney George Bulls, are you ready? The bar, all the lawyers in the house. Is he here? Okay. Any other lawyers here? Okay, Ronald Stanley, why don't you come and speak on behalf of the lawyers of George, the local bar? Okay, let's give Stanley Gray a round of applause. The great attorney, who has been working with his father and continues to do a great job.
On behalf of the Macon County Bar Association, which is a bar association that represents all of the lawyers in Macon County, many are from out of the county as well. We thank you, Attorney Gray, for your leadership, for your guidance, for your advice, for hopefully meeting some of the other ones on the other side and some of those out-of-town lawyers as well. But it's been your example that has helped to shape the Macon County Bar Association. And so on behalf of all of its members, we thank you for all that you have done, not just for Macon County, not just for Bullitt County, not just for the state of Alabama, not just for the United States of America, but for the entire world. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Attorney. Father and son, get this picture. And might as well get both, come on, Fred, Julie Jordan, get the lawyers together there. There you go. That's right, and his wife, the lawyer, get all of them. Any other attorneys in the house? Any other attorneys in the house? Okay, all right, great. Okay. Now, the Honorable Diane Robinson and the Honorable Johnny Harrison. I want you all to give these two hard-working ladies a round of applause because they worked so hard, and all of the other committee members who are here, come on around, ladies. Dr. Harrington and all of the others, but Ms. Robinson is representing, the Honorable Diane Robinson is representing our historic commission, Fred. That's important because you are a history maker, and we need to preserve our history. And the Honorable Johnny Harrison is a member of the board of the Housing Authority. And I wanted them to both come to stand with me because they are also board members of the Historic Black Towns and Settlements Alliance. So Your Honor, you may go first.
Yes. Attorney Gray, I'm so honored on behalf of the Tuskegee Historic Preservation Commission, I'd also like to acknowledge Ms. Dr. Elaine Harrington is a member of our commission, and our mission is to preserve the history of Tuskegee. What? Is Major Holland here? Is there anyone else here who's a member of the commission? But on behalf of my whole commission, I say that we thank you for all that you do for your life. And I hope that we can do like you. You say all the time that when you graduated from law school, your mission was to come back and change everything that was segregated. And we want to make that history known forever and forever. And we plan to work with your history center. And that is part of our commission that we will do that. Our mission will be your mission.
First thing I want to say, thank all of you for coming. And I would like for Mr. Gandy, who's president of the Housing Authority Board, to come round. Where is he? Yes, he's here.
All right, and he's a darn good.
He's a darn good. And one thing about him, if it can be done, he'll do it. If it can't be done, he'll say, well, we can't do that.
Greetings, everyone, and Attorney Gray, just want to say thank you for everything you have done. You are an inspiration to all of us, and congratulations on that. Oh, yes. Stan is our attorney for the Housing Authority as well. Thank you.
Brother Kifo O. Jack, the minister of the Tuskegee Church of Christ, wanted to be here, had another commitment, and he asked Attorney Fred Gray Jr. to come and represent the church. Many of us know how great a churchman Fred Gray is, how much he loves his church. We know the history. At one point they had the East End Church of Christ, and then you had the Church of Christ on the Montgomery Highway 80, and it was Fred Gray along with Alan Parker, who worked very hard to make it happen that they would get together. But we're going to ask Attorney Fred Gray Jr. now to come and represent the church. Okay, I love that enthusiasm. He's ready. Give him another round of applause.
Good afternoon. If we had given Mayor Ford a few more minutes, I wouldn't have had anything to say. I want to say this. It started with my dad and the church, of course, his brother Gray, and the office, he lets me call him Gray. Around everybody, I'm calling him Mr. Gray, but it started with him at home. And his mother, my grandmother, and stepfather, called diabetes too. But they raised after preaching school. He went to Nashville Christian Institute in Nashville, Tennessee, and perfected and learned how to be a preacher. And traveled with a very well-known African-American preacher, Church of Christ preacher named Marshall Peeble, and went all over the country with him and other young men who were going to be preachers. We're going to fast forward up to 1974. As already mentioned, the Tuskegee Institute Church of Christ was what we would call the Black Church of Christ, which is on Montgomery Highway as you come into Tuskegee, past St. Mark, coming on in on the right, very small building. 1946 is when the Black church started. The white church, which is out of East End, the building itself, started in 1952. So you had a handful of blacks on one side of town, a handful of whites on the other side of town, segregated. Well, you know, he said he was going to destroy everything segregated he could find. Well, the churches probably didn't view themselves as segregated, but in 1974, Fred Gray, now being the minister of the Tuskegee Institute Church of Christ, he and Penniman Williams, who was a white minister, talked, and Alan Parker also, and they brought both the churches together. And so in 1974, the two congregations merged. So from a legal standpoint, he desegregated everything he could find, and in the religious world, where we all need to be, he brought us together. He's an elder in the Tuskegee Church of Christ. He's been a minister of the gospel, I don't know how far back, but I know that in 1960 he started a congregation in Newtown in Montgomery. So on behalf of the Tuskegee Church of Christ, we appreciate all that you have done and all that you do. You talk about a scholar, Dr. Hook. Ms. Hook said about him being a scholar. That's so true. And he will read a Sunday school lesson. So if you're teaching, you better be ready. Thank you very much, Brother Gray, for your work. Thank you very much. Well done. You got to that intro. Great. The Father and the Son. Outstanding. Now, Jerry Clay, all of these young people, isn't it great to see these young men and women who are going to be our future leaders, the great sons, and now Jerry Clay, president of the Chamber of Commerce. How about that? They all grew up playing ball together and all grew up right here in Tuskegee. And Jerry, you may want to ask your other chamber members. You have it.
Sure. Would all my chamber members please come forward to help me on this jumping out in our community? I see them jumping out there, so please help me out. Chamber members, please help me.
Come on, there we go. Great job.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Jared Clay. I'm the president of the chamber. And on behalf of all of our members, we salute you, Brother Gray, on being a recipient of the Presidential Medal of Freedom. I've drafted an official letter from the chamber congratulating. Before I present that to you, I want to say just on a personal note how grateful I am and inspired to have just such an exemplary example of excellence here in our community. And I'm just honored to be in your presence. I also want to assure you that as an officer of not only the chamber, but the utility board, that you don't have to worry about the viability of the Tuskegee Multicultural Center.
Hey.
We will seek out all financial resources to ensure the viability of that entity, as well as our children. here, we want to tell you congratulations and job well done, sir. There you go.
I hadn't expected the end of the microphone today. That's all right, because Fred Gray is my friend. And since I have in the old days, 1968, I was president of the movement at that point in time. But guess who got it? W.P. Mitchell. Other great older people in this community. I'm reminded of a song that Donna Rich sang, Heroes. Heroes are just walking around. People nationally known, and we take them for granted. And we're not taking Fred Gray for granted today. We're saying thank you, Fred, for everything you do.
Oh, we got to hear something from at least one white person today.
I just want to thank you. I want to thank you as a friend and a great man and somebody that has, in everything we've done to try to improve the life and quality of life in Macon County, he has been a part of it. He didn't have to come with us and participate in developing Exit 38, but he did. He didn't have to when the university and the economic development were at odds. He came and helped and acted as a liaison with us. So there are so many quiet moments that he reached out and were a benefit to all of us. So I don't understand exactly why there are not more white people here, because everybody in Macon County benefits from everything you've done. And it was funny that Montgomery has named a street for you, but we think the city of Tuskegee. That's right. You've done it. Tell me where it is.
It's on the corner of Rosa Parks and Fred Gray Street. How about that?
But I want to thank you personally, and Carol. When I came back here to Tuskegee in 1989, I was a white person in a sea of black people. But who asked me to Christmas parties, to birthday parties, and to become a part of the community? And I thank you.
Come on out and take a picture of Charlie Harley. Charlie Hardy was also an elected official at one point. Remember the Board of Education. Charlie, your honor.
Thank you so much. Well, as I listened this afternoon, and we always counting, and I believe, counsel, that I may be one of the early clients of yours. I was a young person, a teenager. My uncle had employed him as counsel for some property in Montgomery, and he came and picked me up in a 1954 Ford. Thank you. Good ride. But seriously, counsel and I have been crossing paths for quite a while. We have several things in common. But one of those things this afternoon that I'm here, council asked me to pick up a plaque for him
that was given by our fraternity, Alpha Phi Alpha. And he said, if you're going to be there, would you receive it on my behalf? And I'll get it from you. Well, that was January 24, 2015. And so it has been in my office since, and he and I have not made that exchange, so I thought among all this crowd of witnesses that I would present this plaque to Martin Luther King Jr., Civil Rights Pioneer, Fred D. Gray, Esquire, and this was January 24, 2015. Council Alpha Phi Alpha is indeed proud of your work. Thank you.
And not to be outdone, Q sci-fi time, all right? Rogers Hunt III, where are you? There you go, and Councilmember Whitehead and all the Qs. Want y'all, come on, all you Q dogs. All right. Q sci-fi. All right. Thank you, Council Whitehead, for
Good afternoon. I'm really greetings on behalf of the Omega chapter of Omega Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. As we embark on our 100th year of service to Tuskegee and Macon County, we find it only to be fitting that we honor our chapter brother who has continually contributed to our Omega's mission financially as an active member. That means he's active. That means he doesn't just wear the colors. He's financially active. He's active with our fraternity. And as a member of Macon Phi Fraternity Incorporated, since 1949, there was initiation in Gamma Sigma Chapter.
Okay, Gamma
Dr. Gray, Presidential Freedom Medal recipient, world icon, civil rights champion, civic leader. In the Learned Day ministry, scholar, mentor, husband, father, and friend. All those are really befitting accolades to you. And I bet if you ask Brother Gray, what were the principles that enabled him to achieve these accomplishments and these accolades, I bet he and a lot of us in this room would say Christian manhood, scholarship, perseverance, and other. Well, those are the cardinal principles of the true Omega man. And hey, make no doubts about it, Brother Gray is a true Omega man. So we honor him. But unfortunately, if we look at what's going on in the world now, even in our state, right, our country, there's so much work to be done. And you're still going. And we're gonna make a commitment to run, walk, fight with you on this road to justice, freedom, and equality for all. So we salute you, Brother Gray, and thank you for your many accomplishments. Thank you.
Some people know and don't know. My father and Mr. Gray were tight to him. In fact, my mom has a house next to Mr. Gray because Mr. Gray told my dad he wanted him to live right next door to him. And I never forgot, I was living in Atlanta. Mom said, your daddy gonna build me a house. I said, no, Daddy said he ain't never leave the neighborhood, Mom. I said, yes, he is. Fred talked him into it. So they were buddies to get up every morning, walk the lake before he moved over there.
And growing up, I grew up with Stanley and Fred. I'm right between the two. And Mr. Gray, I used to go to my dinner and I tell everybody about Mr. Gray and his books. I would tell about the books he had written, everything. And growing up, this man was an icon. Him and my father shaped me. So thank you, Mr. Gray.
We have any chapels in the house, pray? Come on, pray. Any more chapels? Others, let me mention that we also have resolutions from Community Action. Anyone else here from Community Action Agency, from CSHA, Macon County Council on Rehabilitation, and Reverend Love, are you still here? You want to represent, ask all of your ministers. I saw Reverend Jones, and that's all the ministers come and stand with Attorney Fred Gray. All the ministers in the house. Come on quick, Reverend Love.
On behalf of Macon County Ministerial Council, Mr. Gray, we are so proud of you and your work here in Cincinnati. Attorney Gray, on behalf of the ministers, we are so thankful for your work here at Tuskegee. It's because of you that we can accomplish great and mighty things. So we just bless God for you, and we're so looking forward to our children learning a lot more about you in school. I'm not in the Macon, but I know that we have to make sure that these kids know who you are, so that they can feel great about themselves. They quote your works, but maybe we all live up to it. And we're just grateful to God for you and for the work that you have done. And so on behalf of Macon County Ministerial Council and all of us in Macon County, we just give you thanks. In my Lord.
Welcome, Laurie McGowan, and Billy Perry once again. Trio. Do you have some of your groups here, Fred? Because I see some of them. Well, this will be a great time. But when we have the next event, we'll be set up to sign books and do all of that. Let's welcome the trio again. All right. Tell them to get the food ready now.
For this particular piece, Fred, the father of civil rights law, The Impossible Dream, the quest from the Broadway musical Man of La Mancha, The Impossible Dream. Bill and I present the gift of music and song in recognition of you receiving the Presidential Medal of Freedom and your unending, persistent, and perennial quest to end racism and inequality. Possible dream. Oh, dream the impossible dream to find the unmeetable goal, to bear with unbearable sorrow, to run where the brave dare not go, to right the unrightable wrong, to love your embrace from afar, to try when your arms are too weary, to reach the unreachable star. This is my quest to follow a star, no matter how hopeless, no matter how far, to fight for the right when I question my heart, to be willing to march into hell for a heavenly cause. And I know if I'll only be true to this glorious quest, that my heart will like whisper and echo when I'm led to my rest. And the world will be better for these, that one man scorned and colored with stars, still strove with his last ounce of courage to reach the unreachable.
Ladies and gentlemen, would you stand on your feet and let's welcome our honored guest, the Honorable Dr. Fred David Gray, who's going to come now in his own way. He has heard enough introduction. Fred, it is now your time. Let's welcome our Fred David Gray.
Something like that happened. Thank you, my friend, my neighbor, we probably go back at least to 1966.
That's right.
I appreciate you. And let me say I'm really speechless. So let me do a couple of housekeeping things. Let me thank Carol. Carol, I met after my first wife, and he said she wanted the job of taking care of me. 22 years she has done that. I didn't know but two people who live here other than her husband.
A lot of people can recognize, I think, do we have any other members of our legal staff who are here? I think, yeah, this is, Ms. English, President Hatton. Okay. I had planned to say some things that I don't need to say. And my greatest critic and my best friend, she shakes her head and do some other things that sometimes I accept it and sometimes I don't. But let me say to you, each one of you, I believe, is a client of mine. And you may not come up in the office and retain me, but if you consider all those cases they talked about that we filed, they were class action suits. And you fall within that class, so all of my clients stand up. I'm not going to do this in the way it usually works, but I'm going to do it just as the heart tells me. When I saw those young people up here, and I don't know what ages they were, but I thought about myself, and I left Montgomery when I was 12 years old to go to Nashville to learn how to preach. And it was the beginning of a long road that never knew anything about the White House, didn't know anything about lawyers. All the thing I basically knew anything about was the church, the Oak Street Church of Christ in Montgomery, and it's still there, in Columbia. So the Lord has played a role in all of this. But when I saw those young people, I thought about them, and I thought about how important it may be to them and to all of our children in this community, Madam Superintendent. They need to know why all these people are out here doing what they have done. And do you know what? You did it in less than a week. What you have done here, in my opinion, goes much farther than honoring Fred Gray. I think it goes much farther than what you're going to do about taking over and supporting the center. But it means that you could come together in a week and do what you have done. Just think what you And you know what? It's almost the same way it started with the Montgomery boycott in Montgomery. As Joanne Robinson and I sat in her living room and planned it. And when New South book sold a few weeks ago, and these two books that I had written that they had published, Bus Ride to Justice, which is the autobiography, and Tuskegee Syphilis Study, I didn't want those, and I have to get another publisher. I didn't want those books to get completely out. So you know what I did? I bought every book that they had. And they cost thousands of dollars, and I have them. Now, if you want to really know about what the history of Fred Gray from his response, get Bus Ride to Justice. And these books are on sale at the Multicultural Center. There has been a lot of misunderstanding about the Tuskegee Syphilis Study. And there have been a lot of people who have made a lot of money on the back of those men. But do you know what? The only reason I got involved in the museum business is because they told me, after being able to get all the money I could get from them, after being able to do whatever we could, along with a lot of help along the way, to get an apology from the president. And they said, lawyer, we want you to do one more thing. We want a permanent memorial in Tuskegee where people can come and see what we did and that we made a contribution. That's why I got in it. So for 22 years of basically, I just do it. I'm sorry that Deborah, my oldest daughter and the manager and director, couldn't be here, she's just tired. But she gave up her job and came here when there was nothing that helped to develop it, and so I'm thankful to it and appreciate it. But I think it's important that you read that we say exactly what happened in Tuskegee Symphony Study, and that's what they wanted. But it does more than that. It gives a whole history in concise fashion of the struggle that African Americans have made from slavery time to today, and it highlights about 5 precedent cases that were filed by plaintiffs from where? Macon County, Alabama. So it's all yours, not my museum. The last thing I needed to do at that age when I started, I should have been preparing not to end up taking on another project that I knew nothing about. But I'm so happy that you have done what you have done here. And I want to tell you, Washington, I'm going to get up on Wednesday morning and go, and about midnight we got a phone call telling us that our plane to go at 7 o'clock out of Montgomery was canceled. And later told it was rescheduled for 7 o'clock on July the 7th. That's just a few hours before I was supposed to get this award. We had to change all our plans, get over to Atlanta and get another plane. But you know, we were able to do it and ended up getting in Washington about the same time as if we got there. So, that was, the beginning of that was a bad thought. I need to tell you about the good things that happened. Congressman Sewell, who nominated me for this office and who worked so hard to get it done, decided that she wanted to give a dinner in my honor to me and our immediate family. And guess what she did? On July the 6th, 2022, at 7 o'clock in the evening, she has a celebratory dinner honoring Attorney Fred Gray Sr., Presidential Medal of Freedom recipient, July 6th, 2022. It has the menu, and it was at the Capitol Grill. If you know anything about Washington, that's on Pennsylvania Avenue. And if you know Pennsylvania Avenue leads from the Capitol to the White House. So that was good. Then the next good thing was the event itself. The president welcomed us to the White House to an event that occurred in the East Room, which was the same room that I had been in before with the apologies for the men in the study. And it was at that time that Mr. Shaw, who introduced the president, thanked him for bringing us to Washington, thanked him for what he had done, and looked at the president and says, I want to tell you that I have helped form the Tuskegee Human and Civil Rights Multicultural Center for a permanent memorial for us in Tuskegee, Alabama, and we want you to help us.
So that too tells you how I got it. And I told them I would do that. You saw, so I don't need to tell you anything about the ceremony because many of you saw it online. You may not have seen this. And after they had given it to me, I released a press release. And if you haven't gotten a copy and want to get a copy, then send over, make a copy available. It's remarks that I made on the president's awarding the Presidential Medal of Freedom to Fred Gray. But on it, I accepted that award on behalf of all my clients. I thank them for all that they've done and thank all the people who have done it. But I accept it, so this award here is accepted also on your behalf so you can feel that you feel good while you can't wear this on your shoulder, around your neck. You can end up saying it's also on behalf of
One is special. Our city manager, Mr. Swanson, give him a hand. For those who were not able to see him.
Today's show is something good. It comes from Case Western Reserve. One of their most iconic alumni, Fred Gray, received the Presidential Medal of Freedom from President Joe Biden.
Get this, he spent nearly 7 decades as a civil rights lawyer and represented Dr. King, Rosa Parks, and John Lewis. Martin Luther King Jr. once called him, quote, Chief Counsel for the protest movement. Gray is 91 years old and he's still practicing in Alabama.
Amazing. So well deserved.
You're announcing that. I think I told you about the press release that I released. But you know, the son son was right on the ball. Immediately after the event, there was a release that the Tuskegee History Center did, and it's entitled, let's see, Fred B. Gray, and it talks about the award, and there's a positive picture, and it indicates, and that short a period of time, copies of it, and it shows a picture of the president and Mr. Shaw at the apology. It shows me in the museum. And guess what? It shows 3 ways you can contribute. I'm talking about Tuskegee Center there. My last book, and these are all at the front of the cell. Alabama versus King. This is the anti-boycott statute case that Dr. King and I was involved in. That these 2 New York Times award-winning authors, Dan Abram and David Fisher, decided they had written about 4 books on about outstanding cases. Most of them were involving presidents. They went to do that case, they found out I was involved in it, asked me to be the co-author of it, and the other is there too. Now, the last thing that happened was there was a president's dinner at 7 o'clock on Thursday evening. And listen at who the sponsors are of it. National Bar Association President Carlos Moore, Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Inc., Grand Marshals David Merriman, and Sigma Phi Phi Fraternity Grand Archon Grain Murray. Welcome you to President's Dinner celebrating Presidential Medal of Freedom recipient, the Honorable Fred Gray. Each of the CEOs of that sponsoring this dinner, and I happen to be members of all 3 of those organizations and have been for a long time. And one part of it, when I looked at the program and saw on it, there was a fireside chat with Roland Martin, and he's the TV man that has quite a program, and he had interviewed me at the center one day last year, and the Honorable Fred B. Gray. And when we got into a discussion of it, and Mr. Martin was telling me about how much and how great the center was, and I said, well, you know, if we don't get some financial support, the doors are going to have to close. He says, what? He said, well, how much money do you need? And guess what I told him? We need $1 million. He said, $1 million? He got up out of his seat. I got up out of my seat. And he went and called the folks who were there and got their names and contact information. And you know what? We raised at that time, Dr. Harrison, pledges for $100,000 on that $1 million. Now, you might want to do something like that here. So what I'm going to do is close. And thank you so much for everything that you have done being this presider, and those others of you do whatever you'd like to do. But I do want to tell you what I have told so many other people, and the things I think that we have to consider. And that is, I had my last conversation with John Lewis, and it was about a week before his death. And I asked him what he wanted me to do. And he says, keep going, keep pushing, and keep the record straight. To all of you who are interested in civil rights, keep going, keep pushing, keep the record straight. Do it in a non-violent manner, and do it until righteousness rolls down like water, like a mighty stream. Bless you. Thank you for
And any of you today who want to make contributions or pledges, you may do so. But we have just started this process, and we are going to plan. I want all of you all to know that you can serve on the planning committee for a major citywide, countywide event. Yes.
But what you might want to do, somebody will get a little piece of paper.
All right.
Is just take the names and amount of people who are here now who want to make a pledge.
All right now. All right, show us how to do this. Come on. All right. So, okay, did I see a hand back there? Yeah, pledge. All right. Come on around. All right. Talk is good, but money is much better. It's all right. We got plenty of help.
Let's just take one of your programs and put the people's names down on that. All right.
Okay.
All right.
Come on, ladies.
Let me have a couple of persons, a secretary, to take names.
All right. Okay. Okay. Go ahead. What do you want to do? We'll announce it.
You got one that is the name and contact information. And the amount.
Okay, it's about to come on. Speak up. Oh, we always like.
I'll donate $500. Hey, I'm John Salsa. I just felt adopted into the city of Tuskegee, and just to meet a legend like you has been a real pleasure. I will donate more when I can.
All right.
Well, you know I'm going to pledge and make a commitment from somebody else.
Okay. Now, what you can do at the table where you are, if you have anybody who want to make a pledge, write your name, contact information, come out, we'll pick it up. Okay, your ministry, $500.
Anyone else? Okay. All right, Senator Clay. Senator Clay, not just real money, $200. Any others? The Honorable George Clay, our senator, $200 cash. Give him a round of applause. Judge Alfonso Ministry, $1,000.
All of the Liger family put here, and Dr. Brenda Castleberry, we're making a donation of $1,000.
What's that foot care again?
Auburn Opelika family foot care.
All you people with bad feet, all of us, just head that way.
Morris Marco at the Southside Church Class, Noble Life Award the Elder, but on behalf of my company, First Source, the Expo Company, $1,000. First Source, the Expo Company,
The Honorable Board. Say it, right. Mr. Board. Sergeant Major retired. Sergeant Major, we want to thank y'all for what y'all did in remembering our fallen soldiers, okay? We're going to make a stand on that.
I've got a $500 pledge from Willie Butler and the Butler family. And that's what I have in my life. Since I started something, I would like to serve as a coordinator, receiver, or whatever you want to call me, to receive any donations that you have. And Butler, Willie and Butler. Yes, $500. All right, I will be the official. Yes. Everybody take my telephone number down. Everybody take my telephone number. I'm gonna give you my telephone number and my email. All right, Dr. Harrington, hop along, Harrington. 727-7798. 727-7798. NAACP taught me how to raise money. I can raise it. Okay.
Good afternoon, Reverend, and this is KG Kathy Jones. As former park rangers, we understand the significance of telling the story, the compelling story, so that future generations will know that we come from a mighty long way. We pledge $500.
Mr. Gray from State Representative Carolyn Warren. She has also said that you should be receiving the check shortly from the legislative, service account, $2,600.
From Greater New Life Church International, Tuskegee, Pastors Jordan Elizabeth Clausell,
we'll pledge you $1,000.
On behalf of me, Commissioner Magruder and Juanita Magruder would like to pledge $200.
That's outstanding. And see, we didn't plan this. It just happened. Any others? Any others? Thank you, George and Pat. Thank you all. Any others?
So I got my wife's business, Whole Root, to donate $200.
All right. Outstanding.
An additional $200 from Golden.
Money, but we're going to ask you to please keep your pledge promise. Promises are made to be kept. All right?
Anybody else?
Okay, come on, Sylvester. We got to keep the spirit in this place too.
You know what I'm glad about? The most thing that I'm glad about today, and I think I can represent all of you when I say this, is that we was able to hear Attorney Fred Graves Sr. flowers while he yet lived. Let's give God a big round of applause. We waited for the week for that we was able, and he was able to see how we love him and appreciate what you've done down through these hard years. Bill, if you just take me to A class. We shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome. That's it. Let's do that again. We shall overcome. Oh yeah. We shall overcome. Oh yeah. We shall overcome. Someday. Oh yeah. Are you gonna take over for? Yes, Lord. We shall. You know what? We are not afraid. Everybody. We are not afraid. We shall not afraid today. Hallelujah. We'll walk. That's what we got to do. We'll walk hand in hand someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome. Now we're going to do it one more time. We shall overcome. I want everybody to sing on this line. We shall. Thank you, Dr. Gray. We shall overcome someday. Oh, deep in my heart. Hallelujah. I do believe we shall. Now, one more time, we're going to wave our right hand just like this on this next. We're going to do it one more time. We shall overcome. Let me sing. We shall overcome.
Rosa Parks says we got to stop saying someday, today. Today.
Oh, deep in my heart, I believe. Hallelujah. We shall overcome through.
Representative Carter will close the prayer and give bless the food.
We have more than $8,000. More than $8,000. More than 8,000.
Okay.
Let me just say to all of you, thank you so much. And I'm serious about the fact that I think what we've done here today, you are a great deal of bringing us all together. We can do this in less than a week, almost 2 or 3 days. Just think what we can do if we use this and generally improve it. That's why I moved here a long time ago. Thank you, and we appreciate it.
Okay, keep humming it, Doctor. Come on, Representative.
I'm tasked with offering the closing prayer. We started our celebration of this historic moment with prayer, and we will close with prayer. God, may peace be in our hearts, your grace be in our words, and your love in our hands, and your joy in our soul. We are grateful for what we have witnessed today. Through the gathering of the people who love you, dear Father. We say thank you. We ask for traveling mercies back to our homes as we leave today. We offer this prayer in Jesus' name. Blessing of the food. Thank you, Heavenly Father, for the food that has been prepared, for the nourishment of our physical bodies. Thank you for the ones who prepared the food and the planning committee for bringing us together to fellowship with the great attorney, Fred Gray. God, we thank you for the blessing of this meal in Jesus' name. And we all will say amen. Amen.
Okay, thank all of you all so much on behalf of the planning committee. This was just our first step. We will be having another meeting very, very soon, and we will move from that point. Okay, thank you all so much. Thank you. Thank everyone for participating.